The challenges facing our teens today mean that more than ever, we need to be there to support them and encourage them. The DrStem Show is here to provide discussions about topics that will help promote healthy relationships, self-image, and success for teens, parents, and the community. Our young people can achieve more in life than they ever dreamed possible. The DrStem Show, hosted by Dr. Stem Malatini, will foster these discussions and encourage your participation.
Welcome to the DrStem Show. I know, like most of you, you're waiting to figure out how you're going to accomplish your goals this year. We have a great show for you. We have a motivational speaker, a trainer, an educator who is going to talk to us about how you can achieve your goals this 2015. And guess what? I bet you want to make it the best year that you've ever had. So welcome to the show, Kurt Faustin. Did I say that right?
Faustin, but
Faustin.
It's okay.
Trust me, I've been practicing, throughout the show. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you
for having me.
And you know what? I'm just as excited as the people that are watching today, because we want to know, what can I do differently this year? And is there something that I have missed in the past years that I can do to elevate myself? So before we start talking about that,
okay,
why don't you tell the audience who you are and what brings you here today?
Yes. So my name is Kurt Faustin, CEO of Umph. I am here to help motivate not only myself, but hopefully everyone there at the show. We're trying to motivate everyone, trying to find what I call their umph and help elevate where they are now to where they're destined to be. That's the goal today.
The umph.
Yes,
what is that? Because I just heard, I'm here to elevate their umph. I'm like, okay.
Yes, the umph right there. So the company name is Triumph. Tri stands for 3, UMPH stands for umph, using motivation to push higher. So my goal to everyone is, or I simply ask them, what's your umph? Have you tried umph today? So many people within our society, typically if they want to get to a successful place in life,
okay,
they don't really tap into what I call their motive, the motive behind the motivation, what keeps them going. And I'm trying to provide fuel to that fire, basically to help them regenerate their passion to get them going through life.
So this is like, I work a lot with teenagers and
Correct.
adolescents, youth, we might call them. Is this like the umph, is that the reason why you're coming to school, or the reason why you're doing certain things and that becomes the umph? Is that what it is?
No, that's a very good question. I call the umph your purpose, your why.
Okay.
What is your true purpose for what you are doing, what you're doing? If you don't know why you're doing something, you're not going to do it for long, or you're not going to do it 110%.
Okay. Can you give us an example of what an umph could be?
Of course.
Yeah.
So, for example, I have a friend who wants to be a younger cousin of mine. He wants to be in the NBA.
Okay.
That's his passion right there. So every day he wakes up early, he practices basketball, he dribbles whether it's raining, whether it's snowing, whether it's sunny outside 80 degrees, or if it's 30 degrees. He's outside every day, and his passion, his purpose, he believes he's going to be one of the all-time greatest basketball player of all time. So because he's focused on his purpose, that allows him to go outside when it's 90 degrees out, that allows him to miss a Friday night hang out with friends and family members to really practice and help rejuvenate his quote-unquote umph.
Okay, I'm going to challenge your umph right now.
Please
of what
do.
the message is. I like that example that you just gave of the aspiring basketball player. But with what's going on with basketball players this year, I didn't know that 3 years was probably the average that one becomes a pro basketball player.
That's true.
What happens after that? If your focus has been, the umph has been just on honing the skills on basketball and being a basketball, what happens after those 3 years?
No, it's very funny you say that. No, that's a very good question.
Yeah.
A lot of people love to focus on everything outside of themselves.
Yes.
So they are focused on people didn't make it, people failed, or certain people lasted 3 years. Yes. Someone else's story doesn't have to be your story. Just because the average basketball player lasts in the NBA for 3 to 5 years doesn't mean you're going to last for 3 to 5 years. So why would you focus on the negative instead of the positive? Because there's certain basketball players that, for example, Kevin Garnett, he's been in the basketball league for 19 years. How come you can't be that type of player?
Okay. I say that not to say just don't focus on the basketball, but I say that to say, I mean, isn't it also something that we can aspire those, you know, I mean, aspiring basketball players or any sports per se to do and enhance themselves in other arenas, especially education, which I know we have a debate on that.
We might have a little bit of a debate, but that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah. So I understand, you know, that you could be 19 years, but what if you will be that plan B? Isn't it good to have that plan B of what you're going to do if...
I heard a speech made by Denzel Washington last week. Ooh. I loved it. I think he was at Penn State giving a confirmation speech. He stated, never focus on plan B because it diverts from plan A. You fall forward, never fall back.
On that note, I rest my case. Let's talk about your 7 years. What are you doing? Because in your bio, I noticed that you've been at the job for 7 years.
Yes, I currently work at Tufts Health Plan. I'm a supervisor at Tufts Health Plan in the Member Experience Department. I help coach, develop, train individuals. I also focus on help develop internal program and external programs to really help our customers out.
How did you end at Tufts?
While I was going to school, it's a little bit of a sad story. There's no tissue boxes. I'll make it quick.
Because we met at a Toastmasters club.
Correct.
And I remember it didn't take you 5 seconds to share that story with me. And I noticed that when I asked you to give me a bio for this show today, you didn't put nothing about that in this. So I'm going there.
It's a sore spot. So I started off at Tufts Health Plan when I was going to LaSalle College. I was going there for 3 years studying a business major and also a minor in communications. Unfortunately, I was a victim to Sallie Mae. I couldn't get a cosigner on the loan, and I was forced to drop out of school due to the fact right now my family didn't have quote unquote the financial means, quote unquote on paper, of course. After that route, I decided to take my work serious and I started to get promoted. I looked for new ways that I can help my employer out and see what I could do to really be part of the company.
Yes.
And it worked out for me. Worked out really well. So in the past 6 years, I've been promoted 4 times. I help coach and develop individuals. And from there, I recognize there are certain skill sets. It doesn't matter if you have a college degree or if you don't, but there are certain skill sets, if you tune in on them or hone in on them, that can help get you from point A to point B. And those skill sets have to do with finding a purpose, knowing why you go to a job. Are you there for just a paycheck, or are you there to make an impact? There's a big, big difference, and that doesn't matter who you are or what industry you are in.
And you know what? The other difference with that is if you go in getting a paycheck you will get. If you go in there wanting to make an impact, that paycheck is even bigger and larger than you can ever expect.
Exactly.
Because you're making a difference in the company.
Exactly. Right? A lot of people state, for example, when I talk to people, I ask them, what do you want to do? They always say, I want to make money. Money, honestly, is just a result of something. The question is, what is the formula to get that result? What do you want to do? You can make money selling toilet paper, if you really think about it. There's many different ways to make money. So I really want people to find their purpose, find their passion, and that's the main skill that I try to focus in on.
We're talking about finding your oomph for 2015. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Before we went on break, I just heard Kurt share what he calls, it's kind of a sad story. But you know what? Here's what I know. If what happened didn't happen, we wouldn't have this intelligent young man sitting here today with all these great ideas of helping other people develop their skills that they have besides the education, because then how many other people will fall into Sallie Mae and might not be able to get, you know, the money that they need. I'm in like $300,000 in debt right now for the school that I had. And who wants to have that kind of debt?
Exactly.
So I think, you know, everything happens for a reason. It's sad when it happens, but then to have the courage that you had to pick up and say, okay, it happened, but I got to pick up and be somebody because I want to be somebody.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
You make me blush on camera.
Yes,
Thank you.
Yes, because, you know, I mean, many will just give up.
Yes.
And you know, the system failed me, life has failed me, so I'm not going to do anything. But you refuse to have that happen to you, and I should commend you for that.
Thank you.
Tell me about your family, by the way. Do you have siblings, mom and dad? I'm a family systems person, so I'm like, okay, where's he coming from?
Yes, so I am Haitian by origin. I was born here, but my family is Haitian. I have a young little sister, not little, but she's 19. I always say she's little. And I have a mom and dad as well.
Okay.
So a small little family, but every Haitian, we have plenty of cousins and uncles and aunts. We're all over the place.
Well, you've got a sister who's our director in there. She's from Haiti, too. I'm glad I asked you that. Because I know she's dying laughing like, oh, he's from Haiti.
Yes, I'm Haitian.
So, yeah, so, you know, I mean, I want to commend your parents as well. And,
Thank you.
You know, the whole village, because then to become who you were and to have that strength that says, you know what, I've fallen, but I'm going to pick up and go, that will go a long way with everybody that you're going to be helping out as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
To tell them they can do it.
What I recognize, especially from the Caribbean culture,
Yes.
a lot of them came to this country from almost a second or third world country. But to make it here in a first world country, that's actually success. And I don't think a lot of people recognize that, that to come from a Haiti, which is considered the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, to move over here and start a whole new family to a whole new world and learn a whole new language, a whole new culture, that to me is success. And I want to commend every parent out there in the Caribbean culture or any parents that's really helped raising the standard for their family.
Yes. So we didn't have a topic of what we're going to talk about today, and we went back and forth about what it is that we'll discuss. But as we are discussing all these, I'm finding, you know, like, we're giving hope for some reason.
Yes.
You know, because then, like you said, I came from Africa, and all the people that are coming from Africa as well, we come here to get an education. That was how we came. But then you come here, and then the education, you can't get a cosigner. You can't. Nobody taught us about how to navigate all that system there.
Correct.
So what you're showing us today and sharing with us is, you know what? Yes, you came here for an education, but if it happens that it doesn't happen, don't lose hope of where it is that you are going with that education. You can still get there.
Exactly.
And beyond.
Exactly. So one of my favorite, even my favorite Bible verses is 3 simple words. And those 3 simple words states, rejoice in hope. Rejoice in hope. There's many, I mean, growing up, all of our family and friends, we rejoice over getting new Jordans, or if a girl texts us. I have plenty of friends out there that rejoice maybe even over likes on social media, Facebook, Facebook, Instagram. But your hope has the capability of being your umbrella during the rainstorm. It really does. If you think about it, the greatest speech of all time, Dr. Martin Luther King stated, his hope, I have a dream. And there's many people out there, if you rejoice your hope, if you treat it almost like a baby, nurture it, feed it. Do you cater to it? Do you apply time to it? Do you allow it to grow? Because it's your hope, your faith, your belief in yourself that will help get you through any obstacles, any challenges in life.
Mine is, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I have it everywhere, in my house, in my car, on my iPads. I have that as a motivation. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So that one is a new one to focus on that I haven't, thought about. But you know what? Going back to motivating, which is what you do most.
Yes,
you motivate and empower, inspire people.
Same thing, exactly.
Some of the work that you've been doing now, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so every week through MCOI, which is Massachusetts Coalition Outreach Initiative, we go through to the Boston pre-release prisons, and we speak to prisoners that are coming home. We try to provide them tools and skills and scenarios to help let them know that A, they're going to make it, and B, this is how you're going to make it. Give them the proper skills, the techniques, give them real life scenarios to really help hone them in. I also, on a monthly basis with my church, we go to the Dimock Center and we do speak to individuals there to help provide them some type of hope, some type of inspiration. It's not where you are doesn't determine who you are. I love to say that. Where you are, once again, does not determine who you are. And I also speak with Toastmasters, provide motivational speeches there, and I do monthly newsletters as well to really help hone in on people.
How can people register for that newsletter?
Oh, send me an email at triumphckm@gmail.
Triumph?
Yes, Triumph, TRIUMPH Gmail.
Gmail.
At
okay.
Gmail.
At gmail.com. So people can, join that newsletter.
Yes.
The other thing that I wanted to expand on is lately we've had, probably 2-3 of our young men shot and killed.
Yeah.
And it's easier for us as women, as outsiders, to say how the police can treat our young men or how our young men should act. You being a young black man, tell me what's your take on this whole thing. And, speaking in an honest thing, we also have to remember that we do have young men watching this and saying, okay, what am I supposed to do as a young minority person in this country in order to survive, make it, and do what the law is requiring me to do?
Yes, I mean, honestly, that's a very, very good question. Being a young black individual, I have had many unfortunate encounters with law enforcement, but I recognize the issue is not color. The issue is not a white versus black thing. It's not because I live in a certain area. Because if you look at the statistics, police brutality or police violence have increased all throughout the whole entire country. For example, a small stat that I recently learned, since 2010, 15% of the homicides in Utah are done by police. Wow. And I don't think there's a lot of African Americans in Utah if you look at the percentage. So it's not only white people, it's not only black individuals, it's white people as well. I think if we react from our feelings, if we make an emotional decisions, we might regret that at the end of the day, because one day you're happy, the next day you're mad, the next day you're sad, and then your actions are all over the place. So the biggest thing I recognize is if you respect people, people will respect you back.
Yes. Yes. So, which answers my next question as a follow-up with that, what is it that they can do? Because then right now, as it stands, it's our young black men especially that are so scared, that are so angry at the same time as, they're targeting us, which maybe some are.
Some are.
Given us, some are.
Absolutely correct. I always like to go back to the scenario of Martin Luther King. A lot of times he did protests in the streets, he did sit-ins, things to that degree. But a lot of people forget that he was Dr. Martin Luther King. He was an educator as well. So in not only protesting, he was there trying to change laws. If we don't like it, we should change it. Yes. For example, this past season, we didn't have the voting rights. For example, when we voted this month in Massachusetts, it was in a decline. A lot of people, a lot of urban people, for example, a lot of African Americans are usually Democrats, but right now we have a Republican governor, which is A-okay. But the thing is, did you apply yourself? Did you vote? Are you in the school systems? Are you trying to make a change? Are you going to your local town halls and volunteering your time and services? We can't get so upset if we're not doing something about it. We must apply yourself.
I'm going to take a quick break. Wow. Just like I expected that this is going to be not only motivating, inspiring in all aspects. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. Welcome back. We are talking to Kurt, and you know what? Time is flying by. I was enjoying the conversation. I hope that you've gotten yourself 1 or 2 tips. The great thing about the Dr. STEM Show is you can actually go to YouTube, www.drstemshow.com on the website, and also watch the shows over and over again. We were talking before we went on break. We spoke about what's going on in the country right now. How do you think Triumph, which is your company, can help the school systems, the programs that have young men to develop themselves?
That's a very, very good question. So right now we're doing professional development and leadership courses. What we recognize is that we all are leaders. The question is, what are you being led by? That's the real question. We all are leaders. Sometimes we're leading we're all leaders, and not only that, we all are successful at what we do. Sometimes certain people are successful at being miserable because all their thoughts are miserable. Sometimes people are successful at basketball because they apply themselves to basketball, going to the earlier example. So right now, Triumph is going to go into the communities. We're going to go into the school systems to really help train and develop our youth. By doing that is self-knowledge, self-awareness, to know yourself. You know what you have within you, you'll know what you're putting out. And you will respect yourself and respect others as well. If you understand that you are a leader and you being led by your thoughts, then you'll find your purpose within getting an education within the school. Or maybe you'll find your purpose of not doing certain things because you're so focused on an overall goal that will help elevate your status right now.
Yes. Yes. And you know, I remember Maya Angelou saying a quote where people will show you who they really are. And I'm also wondering what it is that our young men and women out there are showing, you know, our law enforcement. What are you showing them? You know, what's your personality? What's your characteristic? What's your umph?
What's your umph?
That, you know, that they are seeing. So it's time that we look at ourselves and see who am I and what is it that I'm showing and doing, because most of the time when I read some of these cases, there was something that precipitated the law enforcement to come there.
That's absolutely correct. One of my closest friends, well, two of my closest friends, one of them recently passed away, April 10th, DJ Simmons. He was actually in law. He was a cop, a Boston policeman, and through him I learned so much more about respecting law enforcement, because I have a lot of friends out there, but him specifically, he was in law enforcement. He told me what they go through, and if you give an officer lip, of course they're going to give you lip right back. They're human just like we're human, but if you're respectful to them, majority of the times, of course, it's an 80-20 rule. There'll be those small cases, but majority of the time, they will respect you right back because they're trying to do a job as well. They want to go home as well.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much. You know what? I have learned a lot
from
you, and I know there's still more in you.
Yes,
that we could have.
There's a lot more
that we could have talked about. So I will go ahead and extend this invitation that you're always welcome to come back, and we can continue these conversations or talk about new projects. How can people contact you? And you know, also maybe can you tell us what kind of programs are you looking to speak into that can hire you to come in and talk to you?
Yes. So two ways to contact me, either through the Triumph Gmail, which is triumphckm@gmail, or my personal email, which is kurtfaustin@gmail. We also right now have a website, Triumph CKM, which goes further in depth of what we are providing to the people out there, to the public, and different ways that we can help motivate your people as well.
Kurt, I know I will meet you at the Toastmasters meetings, competitions.
Yes,
you are very well spoken.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
So I should say that. But thank you so much for gracing us with your presence today, and thank you
for having me.
Thank you for being at the Dr. STEM Show, and thank you for watching the Dr. STEM Show.
This is Kurt Faustin, CEO of Triumph. I'm asking everybody out there, what's your umph? TRI stands for 3 people. UMPH stands for using motivation to push higher. If you're looking for new ways, skills, techniques to help develop your motivation to get you from point A to point B, or simply just to spread your wings into your destiny, you could contact me at 617-365-9699 or triumphckm@gmail.com. You can also go to www.triumphckm.com as well.